What's behind the sudden arrival of massive C-17s over the Middle East? In the dead of night, while the world slept, special forces were deployed in complete silence, carrying not just troops, but the explosive tension of a possible global war escalation. One wrong move, and everything could blow up. The risk of conflict has never been this close. Stay with us and find out what's really happening. What you are about to see contains sensitive footage. It is presented strictly for documentary purposes. The Middle East, a region where tension never sleeps, recently witnessed a movement that drew international attention. In the early hours of the morning, before sunrise, the skies were cut through by the deep and unmistakable roar of the United States Air Force's C-17 Globemaster III engines. These aircraft, specialized in large-scale military transport, have been the workhorse of American strategic mobility in conflict zones. And that night, their destination was clear: to reinforce the United States' presence in the heart of one of the most unstable regions on the planet.
No, you want to call me sir. I'll make you salute me.
They'll just give me
Asgard thing, okay, bro.
Although there have been no confirmed reports of paratrooper jumps near the Iranian border, what is known, based on official sources from the Pentagon and aerial monitoring agencies, is that there was a significant increase in military transport operations. C-17 aircraft took off in rapid succession from American bases in the Persian Gulf, carrying tactical equipment and quick reaction troops to strategic positions. Defense analysts believe this movement is part of a deterrence campaign, a calculated response to recent provocative actions by Iran. American military sources, speaking on condition of anonymity, suggest that the troops sent include rapid deployment units such as the 82nd Airborne Division and other CENTCOM quick reaction forces. These units are trained to mobilize within 18 hours to any crisis region. Behind the gates of air bases, the pace was frantic. Armored vehicles, advanced communication systems, and hundreds of soldiers prepared for a possible scenario of regional escalation. Iran itself, according to international press reports, raised the readiness level of its air defense units and mobilized part of its Revolutionary Guard. As Tehran's radars tracked the C-17 flights in real time, the international community watched closely. Geopolitical experts point out that, although the immediate goal is to deter new hostile actions, any miscalculation could turn this show of force into a direct conflict. The message was clear. The United States has the capacity and willingness to respond quickly to any threat to its interests or allies in the region.
Stand by! Fire! Clear, forward, fire. Stand by! Fire! Stand by! Fire!
Soldiers support HQ with a sticker. It helps the channel grow. Or if you want to get even closer, join the squad as an official member. At dawn, social media was flooded with images of the imposing C-17s taxiing on military runways in the Middle East. Civilians near American bases recorded videos of the takeoffs. Further fueling global speculation about the next moves. The world waits in a state of silent tension. For now, the engines have fallen silent, but the expectation of new developments continues to echo like a distant thunder. If you're still here, that means you're one of us. Prove it. Drop a like.